VSA provides opportunities for people who don't always get opportunities.
The real impact that VSA has is on the students that are trying to find their voice or trying to find a way to communicate in new ways. Every child has something to give.
In the early childhood art exploration program, we work with puppetry and 2 to 5-year-olds in their early childhood special education classrooms.
Puppet, where are you?
These 2 and 3-year-olds who had a hard time connecting with people could connect with a puppet. And were able to say their name to a puppet, whereas if they were talking with their teacher or a peer, weren't able to do that.
Will you be my friend?
No!
Mary is fabulous. She just really engages with each individual student and teaches them these important life skills in a really fun way. Parents are so surprised and amazed at their kid getting up on stage when maybe he or she is usually scared to do that, or speaking more clearly than usual, or saying a word maybe they haven't heard them say before. It's really exciting. Communication is hard, and it's a hard thing to learn. With communicating from puppet to puppet, it's easier, and it's more fun, and there's not as many barriers.
Tariq, will you be my friend? Will you help me talk? Yes, I will. Thank you! Can I have a hug?
So if they're looking in that direction.
I think right here.
Right there?
I think.
So we were pretty close over here the first time. We were just maybe a little too far.
One of the really powerful things about the filmmaking class is that that's what it's all about. It's about communication. It's about telling a story and being really respectful for it.
They hooked us up with the Cool Cats, which was a program through CA Frost, students who have cochlear implants, and they were creating and performing a play. And they thought it would be a perfect opportunity for our students to actually create a documentary about them making the play. Students chose what jobs they would like, whether it be filming or taking still photography or editing or choosing music for the final production. And we did pieces of everything.
Watching these students not only learn the technical thing about how to run the camera, but also how to talk to somebody and listen to them and find value in what they were saying.
The students from CA Frost were surprisingly similar to my students, and they found a lot in common. Despite having a different disability, the students hit it off really well. And to have those peer relationships through working together was really important in this project, and that was sort of an aspect that surprised me. And that time together was really cool, and I think we hope to continue that relationship in the future.
This class of students from CA Frost came to a hearing auditory world later than us. And now they're in this hearing world and they're learning how to speak and they're learning how to tell their stories. And they have some really interesting stories. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to give them an opportunity to tell their story? So we brought together a team to do this playwriting/theater class.
It just came out of absolute genius to put theater and recent hearers together.
When the music fades out, we want to make sure that the people clap and the girls are going to want to come forward and take a bow.
I'm always looking for new ideas to challenge my kids to be a part of any type of communication, and so this was a great opportunity for them to improve language, both written and spoken language.
Chris teach us how to
diaphragm.
The diaphragm make our voice louder and be strong.
They first would get warmed up with their voices and their attending skills. They needed to learn to orally use their diaphragms to have their voices be strong enough to be on the stage.
We do a diaphragm, make a voice, like la la la. Yeah.
They did their homework, brought scripts in for me almost every morning and say, what do you think now? What do you think now? They learned about rough drafts and doing it again and again.
Like when you write your script about anything you want, and I like to do that.
I like to write about my dreams because I think they're very significant.
My dream was to play basketball professional team.
I think it got to a point where it naturally started to build. Like one day I remember reading through some of the stories that I'd had them write and realized that a couple of them had dialogue, and it was really easy to just transfer that into play script, and it happened, and it was magical. It was great.
I think it was kind of the goal too for them to be able to dig deep inside and make themselves vulnerable and help explain, you know, what their dreams are, who they want to be. I remember one week I came, she said, you have to read the story. And it was one that was completely unprovoked, I think. I think it was Grace's story on her adoption. It was just, I mean, it was very personal and theatrical, and I mean, it just was really cool to see that side. And luckily we got to put that into our show.
Let the bit nervous. Let the bit breathe. Yeah. Very happy.
The final performance was awesome. They were just all so excited and so ready to show what they had put together.
You know, they say the number one fear of people in our country is to speak in public. And we took a group of students who don't speak in public very often because it's pretty nerve-wracking for them. They got up there and they spoke in public, and they were amazing.
Good luck! And my body is shaking because I'm nervous there's an audience out there. And that's my first time. I like it, I don't know.
Like a little nervous, a little bit. But then after that, I got brave.
Kind of a little bit confident and a little bit nervous. Because sometimes when I make a mistake, and I feel kind of like nervous, but I kept going.
They really stepped up to the plate and really performed. I remember my wife actually came and saw it, and I looked out one time, and she was in tears. I mean, because there was some parts that were just very moving, you know, and the fact that they wrote, in some cases directed and acted the entire show themselves. I mean, it was really, really cool to see, and I think a lot of people that were here felt the same way.
Every student got in front of the audience and said who they were and who they wanted to be, what their dream was. And it was Nicole who said, I want to be everything. And shouldn't every 16-year-old have the right to want to be everything? I think anytime you can give a kid that they can still be everything, I think is huge.
I want to be everything, a lifeguard, singer, and dancer.
I want to be a mechanic like my dad and graduate from high school. But I don't know if I can make my dream come true. I'll have to see it for myself. I feel really proud of myself. And I thought that I would like to do it again.
What we know is that every child has something to give and has the potential to be something and do something with their lives. And really, VSA's mission is to give them the tools to succeed.